Namaskar to all of you. I have received a message from Bhaskar Butler Sunita. She writes, Pranams Gurudeva, my daughter shared a message regarding the time within which we have to eat cooked food. As she read that if we store cooked food and eat later, its prana shakti will be lost and food becomes inert. I myself don't know anything about this and didn't know what to say. Please could you kindly explain and guide us regarding this Gurudeva? Nowadays WhatsApp is very convenient to circulate some messages. I can say that 90% of the messages what comes to me in WhatsApp is stale, inert. leave alone the food. The message itself is inert. People have their own way of finding out so many things. They are struggling with a lot of intellect. The problem is we have a lot of intellect but not wisdom. Food becoming stale, yes, it is always there. If the food is stale, we are not going to take it. Definitely, it is inert. When the food is stale, you are not going to take it. You are simply going to throw it. But as long as you are able to take the food, it is not stale. It is not inert. And that food is going to be digested and it is going to become a part of your system. The food is going to be accepted by your system. Where is the question of prana shakti? Have you understood? If that is the case, if you cook the food itself, prana shakti is gone. You have to take only raw food. Is it possible to take everything raw? Please remember, cooked food is better digested than raw food. Maybe some raw fruit here and there, a little bit of salad, vegetable, maybe all right. But if you are going to only take salads, or if you are only going to take raw food, then it's going to be a problem. You have to cook it. As long as the body is able to digest the food and it becomes a part of your system, everything is okay. There is nothing like prana shakti in food. There is nothing like that. Rice is there. Rice, you cannot take it raw. You will cook it. Those days, rice of the previous day, they used to soak in water and next day they used to have. Then do you mean to say that those days they were raw? In fact, they were following dharmic things those days better than these days. Today you have a fridge. Those days they didn't have a fridge. Normally the previous day's rice is still soaked in water and next day it is taken. In fact, it is a very healthy. If you take the soaked food of the previous day rice, it is very healthy. That's how even villagers used to take. Where is the question of prana shakti? If your statement is true, then those days they should have followed it. And they used to have very good strength. Please remember, if you take that food, it has got very good strength. There will be a lot of strength in that. Something people are forwarding and something annamna nindayat pranova annam. As long as food is served and the food is not stale and it can be taken and it is taken without being wasted, you are respecting the food. It becomes a part of your system. It has been digested and it also helps. It helps you very much to retain a good health. So So don't be carried away by all such messages. Some nonsense they give as messages. I don't know. And they will also say Buddha has said, Mahavira has said, Sridhar has said. They are not going to come and say we have not said. If you want somebody to follow what you want to say, you can give a saying and put a Buddha photo. Buddha is not going to come and contest that this is not my message. Nowadays so many things are happening, don't be carried away. Okay, you want to read messages, you read, that is your problem. 99% of the WhatsApp forwards I don't read at all, unless it's a joke, so that I can share the joke with you. That's all. All are useless messages being circulated most of the time. And people also get misled by such messages. And they start thinking all this and they start propagating it. You cannot propagate a message unless you know it's 10% it is true. Just because somebody has forwarded, you cannot keep on forwarding messages. Please don't do it unless you are convinced about it. Otherwise, you also will be propagating a wrong message. And following that, many people will be thinking. There may be some innocent people who will still be following all these messages, thinking that it is correct, and further they will be spreading. And it will be going ahead in geometric progression, R1, R2, R3. And like wildfire, it will spread. So many such messages are there in WhatsApp, which cannot be relied. Probably WhatsApp was not invented for that purpose. It was just to share some things, useful things. That is what for it was invented. But today, people keep on circulating such messages. There is nothing, Prana Shakti, Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, all these things are not there in that case. There is nothing like that. You can take, as long as it is not stale. Just by you are keeping in the fridge, it doesn't become stale. Okay. In a lower temperature, it is more maintained afresh. Next day you are taking, probably you may cook it in an oven or something like that. You may recook it and have it. That's all. Today such facilities are available. Today you are forced to work. 24 hours, 24/7 people are working. Sometimes work from home. Sometimes you have to go to office also. Now after Corona, now they are saying hybrid model. 3 days, 4 days you attend office, 2 days you do not attend office. So both husband and wife are working. So it may not be possible to cook at every point of time. Sometimes they can cook, sometimes they cannot cook. They keep it inside the fridge. And they remove it and next day probably they will keep it in an oven and then have it. If they are having it, it means that the food is alright. Food is not inert. Have you understood? Those days also they were doing the very same thing. They were soaking the food in water and next day they were having it. In fact, they were more healthy than these days. Because the method what they followed probably was scientifically much better than today. But still the food is not stale. You take the food, is it not? So don't get carried away by such messages. And there is nothing like that to my knowledge. And I don't believe all this trash. Don't worry. God bless you all. See you some other time.